open Netflix. Endless options, new releases everywhere, trending shows everyone's talking about. And yet somehow you press play on the same show again, the one you've already seen, maybe way more times than you'd admit. And the worst part? You already know people judge you for it. They don't say it out loud, but you feel it. They ask, why don't you watch something new? But that question misses the real point. Because once you understand the psychology behind rewatching, you realize it's not a bad habit at all. It's a signal about how your brain handles stress, control, identity, and comfort. We live in a culture obsessed with what's new. New shows, new episodes, new recommendations pushed at you every day. Algorithms are designed to make you explore, but some people ignore all of it. They already know every line, every scene, every joke, and they still press play again. Not because they're stuck, but because their mind is asking for something specific. Rewatching isn't laziness, it's psychological. And most people fall into one of four types, 4 different reasons the brain chooses familiarity over surprise. The first is the comfort seeker. For these people, life feels unpredictable. Maybe it's a long day at work, a late night, an argument that's still sitting in their chest. When everything feels uncertain, the brain looks for something stable. A familiar show becomes a safe environment. They know how it ends. They know what's coming. That certainty feels like a warm blanket in a cold world. It's not about the story anymore. It's about emotional safety. The second type is the cognitive rest seeker. These people aren't bored, they're mentally drained. Their days are filled with decisions, problem solving, and pressure. By the time they sit down, their mind has nothing left to give. Watching something new requires effort. Rewatching doesn't. It lets everything switch to autopilot. Psychologists call this reducing cognitive load. Think of it like charging a phone without running apps. Familiar content becomes background comfort, mental white noise that entertains without asking for energy. The third type is the nostalgic anchor. For them, rewatching isn't really about the show, it's about the memory attached to it. Maybe they watched it during a happier time, maybe it reminds them of someone they've lost. When they rewatch, they're not revisiting the story, they're revisiting a version of themselves. Psychologists call this emotional time travel. That's why people cry during scenes they've already seen so many times. It's not the scene, it's the memory of who they were when life felt lighter. The fourth type is the detail hunter. These people don't rewatch for comfort. They rewatch because they get bored with shallow consumption. They notice background details, subtle acting choices, patterns others miss. The first watch is just the surface. Rewatching is where depth begins. Psychologists link this to high openness and analytical thinking. These are the people who notice patterns not just in shows, but in people. For them, it's not repetition, it's understanding. Here's what all 4 types have in common. They're not avoiding growth. They're not stuck in the past. They're choosing what their mind actually needs. But the world treats them like they're all the same, lazy, unmotivated, uninteresting. In reality, one is protecting peace, one is conserving energy, one is holding on to identity, one is deepening awareness. In a world obsessed with the next big thing, people who rewatch have quietly learned something important. Sometimes the best choice isn't what's new, it's what actually works for you. So here's the real question. Does constantly watching new things make you more interesting? Or does knowing what brings you comfort make you more self-aware? Once you know which type you are, you'll never judge your rewatches the same way again. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. So which one are you?